What's up, guys and gals? Welcome back to the Nerd Castle. Today in the world of indie games, I've got something a little bit special for you coming from one of the development houses that I always remember the most. If you guys ever played a game called Divine Cybermancy, it was one of those weirder games out there that was like a combination of an immersive sim and a first-person shooter. It was very esoteric and hard to figure out, but if you stuck with it, it was one of those games that had a bunch of systems and a bunch of weird things going on with it that really made it memorable all these years later. Well, those developers have now released a new game. A couple of weeks ago, I wasn't able to play it because the release version was bugged for me. It would just crash every time I booted it up, but the game is functioning and working now, so I figured it's time for us to do an episode and introduce you guys to Daimon Blades. In Daimon Blades, you are a holy crusader moving through like these realm gates to go fight with undead enemies all throughout the world. It is a roguelike, so you're going to be doing back-to-back levels and trying to go as far as you possibly can, utilizing Vermintide-style combat in order to get there. It's one of those games that's all about coming up with busted builds that allow you to do things that screen wipe instantaneously and leave a giant shower of gore all over the place, and I've played for about 3 hours now, and while this game does share sort of the confusing nature of its predecessor, Divine Cybermancy, this is a game where nothing is explained to you. You've just got to immerse yourself in the game and figure it out. You're going to be pretty lost for your first hour or two of this game, but once it starts to click, I found it to be very, very enjoyable, although not without flaws. And so let's dive in, let's do some first impressions, check the game out, and see if it's something you wanted to add to your wish list. If after watching this you wanted to get the game for yourself, I got a link for you down below in the description. You can check it out there. The game is being heavily patched and fiddled with by the developers as they take in feedback from their audience. You'll also be able to find a bunch of other sexy, flexy Nerdcastle links down there just in case you wanted to give them the old saucy click. But first things first, let's go out on a run, see how this thing goes, and then I will come back to the hub and explain how everything works here. Once we finish that on off, whether we be victorious or a massive failure, we shall see, but let's go into the realm gate. Now that we're inside the game, let's talk about the UI a little bit so that you guys know what'll be going on visually. Bottom left-hand corner, we've got our health and our flask. When our health goes down to 0, we die, but the game is not over. Every time you die, the corruption meter up at the top of the screen goes up in single-player mode because the demon inside your weapon has resurrected you to continue your crusade. When corruption maxes out at 100, the run is officially over. We also have a flask that we can trigger with our V key. Every enemy that we damage and or mutilate is going to drop a blood orb that refills our flask. It's going to refill about 1,000,000 billion times every single time you head on into a level. To the right of that, we can dash. We can move around with W, A, S, and D. We've also got ourselves a left-click slashy attack we can do. We've got heavy attacks, and here's our first batch of enemies that need to get got. So let's light them up. This is very much a movement game, and there is a considerable learning curve to this title. I would highly recommend that you stick with it. This is a game that, it's not a game that you're gonna like lock in on the first time you play. It just isn't. You're probably gonna get stomped the first time you go. We got like throwers in the back too that are causing problems. I gotta bait them around this corner over here. So that I'm not taking all the ranged attacks. These shield guys right here, we've got to stagger them by doing, oh, we've also got angels and stuff up inside of here. Okay, well, we got him down right there. That's ready to go with my ultimate, so let's clear out the room, get ourselves escaped a little bit from all the ranged guys. There are a shocking amount of ranged enemies in this game for a game that's based on melee combat. You will learn how to isolate them, eliminate them, and deal with them as you get further on in, but for right now, at the beginning part of the game, we have no bonuses, we have no run add-ons making us stronger, so we're kind of in a position right now where we are the weakest we will ever be. This guy right here with the lamp on his head, we gotta get him. Otherwise, he's gonna trigger alarm, and it's gonna be super bad for us, and loads of enemies are just gonna stream on in here. I need to flask real quick. There we go. Get my health back. Draw these guys back around the corner and kind of pick them off one by one. We do have a giant spider foe that's up on the ceiling that we'll want to maintain our awareness of. I don't know exactly. Yeah, he's right there. He shoots like a little orb at you. We also have ourselves like a hook shot we can use to get around faster. That thing's gonna spit at me, so we kind of want to stay away from it. And then we're gonna finish him off real fast as he goes down. This big spider right here, though, I gotta get him. He's a problem, and until I get him, Unfortunately, he's sticking to the ceiling real aggressively. Let me see if I can get him with my ranged attack. Every single demon weapon has a ranged attack on it, and the ranged attack should allow you to pick off those guys that are a little bit more difficult to get to. You can also do it in collaboration with your hook shot. Looks like we've got another eye over there. We got to get that thing before it lights off some kind of alert on us. I don't know if that one does the alerts. There will be resources that you find throughout the maps. I highly recommend collecting those because your progression through the game relies on it. I figured I was going to catch one right there. Those little spitter guys, when they're inside those tiny rooms, can be like a massive headache. This guy, though, is... Ooh, we got all kinds of... We got copper? Hell yeah, dude. I need copper for some of my metagame upgrades that make me stronger. You may have seen that thing that said Ascension level up. Your weapon levels up. So in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen, as I'm killing enemies, you will see that the little meter fills up that says Ask 3. Your weapon levels up. The demon inside of there is feeding off the savage brutality that you're putting all over the enemies. Yeah, let's not do an alarm. How about that? How about you die? And your weapon will level up and it will get a bunch of bonuses. You can check those bonuses by going, I think, into your info. I don't know where that's at, actually. But either way, our weapon levels up and it gets stronger. It will start doing more rad stuff. The downside to that is when you die, you lose all of your ascension levels. You will keep all of the bonuses and enchantments and stuff like that you get on your weapon, so you'll still have a little bit of strength left. But you will lose a lot of your demon bonuses, which are actually fairly pivotal to your success rate. You guys, yeah, fighting you guys around this pillar, that works for me. Are you all dead? Let me refill my flask real quick. I'm gonna shoot that thing. There we go. It's down. I do want his blood orb, though, because my flask is very, very empty right now. Our goal for this mission, every single mission is going to have randomly generated elements to it of what it is that you're supposed to be doing. In this case, we are supposed to... Oh, my God. There's so many melee guys over here. I think our weapon, yeah, it upgraded its range. Most of the weapons in this game, their range goes up every single time your demon levels up. Oh, my God. My health went down so rapidly. Let's see if we can break his armor, and if we can break his armor, he'll go down very, very rapidly after that. With that flower over there, I'd like to kill him right now. We've got to destroy 2 evil statues. I can probably get on top of that. I can probably take care of that. We got a few more enemies coming in from this side. We'll heavy slash them down. He actually caught me with a nasty one, right? 2 nasty ones. Good lord. All right, well, let's break his armor and see if we can get up in them booty cheeks real quick and lay him low. He's now down. I'm going to continue healing. I find that the earlier levels are actually the harder levels in this game. That's just for me personally. Oh, my God. Okay, the statue done woke up. Unfortunate. I'm going to jump off this ledge real quick. I would like to catch him with a heavy strike. There we go. Drop him. Give me all your orbs, dude. I gotta heal myself. There we go. Back up to 100 health. It doesn't look like this demon gives us bonus HP as he levels up. The Sacrificial Calyx destroys all your artifacts. You gain more loot when you kill the Hermit. Zorox, the powerful demon, hates artifacts, so he created one that destroys them. I don't have any artifacts right now, so I think that'll work out okay. I have yet to pick up an artifact, and so we got more giant, ridiculous blood spiders over here. Ascension level 4, let's go. You can see it in my weapon, dude. It's starting to flame and have demonic energies. Now, when we finish these levels without dying, we're going to be taken to the reward room, where you get to choose if you want to, like, heal yourself, enchant your weapon. What you want to do is totally and entirely up to you, but I would highly recommend getting some enchantments that make you, like, shoot lightning all over the place, or, like, AoE fire around yourself, or make it so that you send out a shockwave with every single swing of your weapon. That would be my recommendation, is anything that increases your range and gives you a better chance of not having to make base contact with the enemy is a really, really good idea. Anything that drains energy, anything that drains HP, also good choices. And speaking of that reward room that I was talking about, here we are. This right here is a currency, the Celestial Stones. You spend those to upgrade your character in between runs. There's also demonic stones that you can get that allow you to upgrade the demon that lives inside of your weapon. There are many, many different weapons in this game. They're pretty rare, but they drop, and they come in different Diablo-style types of rarities that are better or worse than one another, or just alternates of one another. When we get to our reward here, though, we can pick an Obelisk of Power. That's usually a weapon enchantment. We can get a Ritual Obelisk. obelisk. That's going to give us a Q ability. Q abilities are kind of like your ultimate, but usually a little bit more muted. I had one where I could throw a tornado that would suck in all the enemies and then blender them up in the air. I had one that was a giant AoE heal that healed everybody on my team. It kind of depends what you want to take right there, or we can get a treasure chest. Inside the treasure chest, we can find all kinds of things. We might get one of those demonic stones that allows us to upgrade our demon after this run. We may get a new weapon that we could equip on this character if we wanted to. Kind of depends, but for now, we want Obelisk of Power. We need things that make us hit harder and make us more deadly. So we've been given a choice here. We can get Eagle Claws. That makes our Wrath gauge for our ultimate charge up faster. We can get Lifesteal. We can get Power Theft. And so basically, we've got Power Theft refills our stamina bar. That's the blue bar that's on screen when we're casting magic or when we're dashing. So we can steal their energy, we can steal their life, or we can make it so that we get a lot more ultimates. All three of these are pretty decent, but I'm going to go with Lifesteal. I feel like Lifesteal has always been good every single time that I've taken it. And then, once we've picked up all of our rewards, we're going to jump down the devil hole. Our next level has been booted up, so let's go ahead and have a look and see what challenges await us. Reach the door. Weird. Energies converge. Sometimes you get weird levels where there's like no combat and you just kind of dance through them. I don't know what's going to happen here, but climb or die. That's not great. Okay, I've never gotten this objective before, so I suppose we will have to figure it out as we go. Let's get ourselves moving. We'll try to get a little bit of velocity behind our steps. We do have a map that fills out Doom style as we go through these levels, and so keep that in mind too. Oh, lava is filling up the complex. Okay. I just caught a glimpse of lava as we were moving, so let's move a little bit more faster. Yeah, hookshot would be a good idea right here. Let's go out that way. Let's avoid any slips and falls. As soon as my hookshot has been recharged, we need to go up to there. Yeah, there we go. Just vault back on up. Hopefully we get a minute before everything fills up with lava and decides to murder us. But there are little challenge levels and things that don't have combat on them, just like this one. Sometimes you just get exploratory levels too, where you're looking around, picking up resources, and just trying to find secrets and stuff. You never quite know what you're gonna get, but they're always appreciated. Let's go over to here. I'm going to continue. Anything that angles upwards, I'm on board with. I will grab those resources over there because there is a considerably sizable metagame to this title. Yeah, let's just teleport back over here, and that metagame almost universally requires that we have lots and lots of minerals and lots of metals in order to advance the various storylines and availabilities of the vendors that exist inside the hub. And I do have a quest right now that wants me to pick up like 20 iron ore and like 20 copper ore so that I can unlock chunks of the blacksmith, I guess. There's our money that we've gotten for that one, and then we get to pick a new reward. That right there is a healing fountain. It gives us full health and refills our entire flask. This one right here, once again, will enchant our weapon or upgrade one of the enchantments that we already have, or we can take a treasure chest. I'll probably upgrade my weapon again. So we can get a dash attack that destroys the enemy's shield and armor. That's not bad because there are a lot of enemies out there that are impervious to all forms of damage until you get rid of their shield and armor. So that might be helpful. We can also get Gash. It's for our dash attack, and it looks like it puts a bleed on our enemies after we deploy it. If we wanted to, we could spend some of our bluebies over here to get something new. I will do that. And it looks like we've got Destroyer. Our heavy attack now destroys shields and armor, okay. Or we can get Overblow. Overblow allows us to shoot a laser out of our weapon every time we swing, thus effectively turning our melee attack into a ranged attack. That's important because no doubt you noticed on that first level, there's a lot of enemies throwing projectiles at us, and being able to instantaneously throw projectiles back at them, pretty good idea. And so I like both these options right here. I'll probably go with, let's go with Overblow for right now, because if nothing else, it'll get rid of a lot of the weaker enemies. That way I can focus on the heavier enemies, and if we can actually get armor breaking on top of our Overblow, that would be even better. Or if we get interdimensional weaponry, so you can get the equivalent in this game of like a Vorpal weapon or something like that that exists in between realms, and it just flat out is an immaterial weapon that cannot be blocked by parries, cannot be blocked by shields, cannot be blocked blocked by armor. It's a very, very nice perk to pick up. I really, really like that perk. So we've got to find a part of a portal in here that will take us to the boss. We do have a number of enemies here that need to be dealt with. So let's start putting a little bit of heat on them, let them kind of think about it. Yeah, dude, I'm liking this increased range that we've got going on. Very, very nice. We did soak a hit right there, unfortunately. If I can break his armor sooner rather than later, that would be really, really nice. Is something shooting at me right now? I feel like something's shooting at me. Let's take out all these little guys over here. That portal can't be destroyed just yet with where we're at in the game, but, oh, we got a bunch of, okay, let's just ultimate. There we go. Too many shielders in a small area, and in my experience, that never leads to anything good, enjoyable, or anything else. Now, I do think that this game has a problem with its hitboxes. My experience with this game over the last couple hours is that hits out and also hits coming in are very, very generous. You never quite know exactly what the range of an enemy's attack is in this game, and I have learned that lesson the hard way over and over and over again. The good news is, with the attacks coming in and going out, it's fair. Your hitbox is ginormous, but also the enemy's hitboxes are ginormous. And so, like, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. At least it's not one-sided there. I am going to take that copper. Looks like we got another one over here, too. Let me get that. Okay. Got the copper. That should be nice. Now we've got to find the portal. My weapon is talking to me again. Sometimes the weapon just sits there and rambles on and never shuts up. I don't know. He's a demon. What am I going to do? All of my power comes from him, so, like, let's take that thing out before it causes any problems for us. There's our portal part right there. There's going to be some kind of challenge that we have to undertake in order to collect it. I don't know what that challenge is going to be, but let's whittle through some of these bad guys real fast, just to get them up and out of the way and maybe get some free flask charge, which we are going to instantaneously use because I don't have a choice. I am going to kill that demon as fast as possible, and I am going to pick up as many of those blood orbs as I can before things fall apart. I can definitely feel that my weapon's gotten a lot stronger on its way up to Ascension 4. I would like to fill up my meter. This thing is just shooting the hell out of me right now, and I hate it. All right, let me refill my health real quick. Whenever you use your flask, it doesn't matter if you're using your flask to get 5 HP back or if you're using it to get 100 HP back. Keep that in mind. It's going to use up your entire flask either way. And we got some kind of ranged enemy in the middle of all that. I don't know where he's at. I do need to find him, though. Let's stagger the demon and beat him to death real quick. And I feel like we came out net positive here. Let me look around for any secrets or treasure or anything else. Some levels do have free obelisks. They do have free treasure chests. They do have other goodies laying around. I would recommend, yeah, in fact, it looks like there's one right around the corner to our left over there. I'm going to go for it. These upgrades are, like, incredibly important, and so I'd like to collect them while I'm in the neighborhood. It looks like we have a treasure chest. I'll definitely take that. What did we get? We got a new weapon. Hell yeah. And it looks like we got a new talisman, too. Talismans are an equipable necklace that you pick and choose between in between your fights and your levels. So we can't swap them out right now, but, like, after this run, if we manage to extract with all of our loot, we could. There's more copper over here, too. It says that there's an obelisk over on this side, but it looks like it's already been used up, so I can't use it. Sometimes your demon will comment on that and be like, oh, someone's been through here, so on and so forth. So there are those little immersive elements there. But let me search the rest of the level for anything that might make us more successful. There were enemies back here and an alarm back here that we're going to have to deal with. Let me kill that off. And then the other thing you need to be aware of is that this right here is a corruption eyeball. They are going to exist around the map here and there. If you destroy this, it lowers your corruption level by like 10. It's basically a way for you to slap a bandage on a run where you've accumulated too much corruption via dying too fast. You want to keep an eye out for these, but we don't want to use it right now in case I die during this showdown. We'll want to pop it after. Actually, no, this is going to teleport me out. Okay, well, there's not going to be much I can do with it then. I'll run over there, kill the bearers, collect the embryonic gleams, and deliver them to the portal. Oh yeah, did I mention this game has undead babies that we have to use in order to power our magic? Did I mention that? I don't know if I mentioned that. I don't know where the embryonics are going to be. Yeah, you guys are creeping up behind me, huh? I knew you guys were. Hey, we're at Ascension level 5, which is the maximum level Ascension. Hell yeah. But we do need to find where the fetuses are. There will be fetuses hidden all over the level, and we've got to deliver them to the shrine in order to power it up so that we can teleport. I don't know where they're going to be at, but we got to go track them down. Get him with a heavy strike from far away. Maybe stagger him up before things get a little... Oh, that hit me from that far away, huh? Like I said, dude, the world's most generous hitboxes reside inside this game. When in doubt, just kind of jump backwards a little bit, honestly. That's what I do. Where are the embryonic babies at? I need embryonic babies, and I need them, like, right now. They're probably hidden back in some of these other areas. Or not. Or the enemy's just going to rock up on here on me. Him going down is good. I don't know what he just dropped, but he dropped something. Oh, he dropped a copper. Nice. Okay, where are these babies at, dude? We gotta find these sin babies out here. Where are these sin babies hiding at? Can I get up here? Yeah, I can. All right, let's have a look around and check some of these corridors and, like, areas. There's a full heal shrine right there where I can heal my character up in exchange for corruption, should I desire that. Just ate a whole bunch of damage right there, unfortunately. Hate that. Let's kill you guys off, and then there's one of our babies right there. 2 babies, in fact. 3 babies up inside this room. We got ourselves a 3-baby problem. We need to move, though, because I can't attack with the baby in my possession. Baby successfully disintegrated, which is one of those sentences that I never felt like I would say here on YouTube, but you know what? Hopefully the censors aren't watching, because I done said it, all right? I done said it loud, and I done said it proud. Let's get down here and deliver another baby. Normally this would be a little bit easier because we would have other players with us also running serious volumes of baby where it needs to go. Was there anything up inside this room? Am I trapped now? I don't want to be trapped. Being trapped, you get off my ledge. This is my ledge. I'll pee on it if I have to. Let's go grab another baby from over here. And there is our 3rd baby, Trey baby, as it would be declared. Baby, you want to come with? Oh, man. Got more bad guys running up on me. Oh, Jesus, dude. Just eating random hits from all kinds of dorks out here. All right, we'll grab that. And then our last baby's up here, too. I don't know if I can hook shot while I'm carrying industrial quantities of baby. But, like, oh, that guy hit like a truck. That guy hurt like hell. We got a lot of things lining up to mess us up right now. I don't really want to fight these guys inside this corridor if I can help it, but it may be unavoidable. Yeah. I can hookshot with a baby in my possession. Okay. Well, probably one of those things. I don't think there's going to be any doctor that recommends you teleport with your baby, or you go on a zip line with your baby, but, like, he might grow up to be like an X Games star, you know what I mean? We're at our first boss here. I don't know if we're strong enough to beat the first boss just yet, but we've got to unleash the boss from his little... I don't know, he's inside of like a jail cell right now by killing off anything that is attached to red tethers. So you see the red tethers going out right there? We got to stop these guys from getting center stage. If they get center stage, it's going to be bad for us. And so let's just take care of that real quick. I am going to heal real fast while I have access to orbs. Kill him off. Got you. Okay, the ritual's advancing, which is good for us. I saw you, angel guy. I saw it. God, that guy hit like a truck, dude. He hurt so much. Heal up again and get our flask moving. Got him down. This ritual's over on this side. I got to take care of it. Okay, got him. Took a little bit of damage from behind. Awareness, gonna be one of those things you have to develop in this title. Like, just being aware of what's around you. Oh, the boss has actually spawned. Okay, so we've got these dudes over here that we've got to deal with. Unfortunately, they like to spam a lot of ranged attacks at me. I've got a little bit of health coming in, and it looks like he's got one left. Let's see if I can nail him with a ranged attack. There we go. And the boss should be open to attacks now. It looks like we're doing a decent amount of damage to him. I'm going to light off an ultimate right there just to get some damage going out and clear out some of his ads. Let me grab a whole bunch of orbs while I'm over here. There's a guy behind me. I was going to say, why am I not moving backwards, even though I am clearly pushing the move backwards direction right now. I do want those orbs right there. Like I said, don't worry too much about using your potion. it's going to come back up on cooldown anyways, so don't stress about it too much. He's at about half health right now. I am getting nervous, though. Like, I know that there's somebody around here that's going to one-shot me, and that's really where the difficulty curve comes in, is that everything in this game hits like a goddamn truck. Like, that is the truth of the matter. Drop another bomb just to clear out the area and get me some orbs. And down he goes. We've got our first boss fight victory. Hell yeah, leaving meat chunkies all over the place. Let's get at it. And we did it all without a single point of corruption, dude. That's what I like to see. Let's get on in here. All right, well, it looks like our first reward is a demon weapon. So we've picked up 2 demon weapons on this run. That looks like a sick-ass 2-handed axe, so I'll go ahead and take that. No guarantee that we're going to get to keep it, though, because when we die, we randomly lose loot. And so, like, sometimes you don't get to keep the stuff that you unlock. The best way to make sure you get to keep at least something is to have an overwhelming amount of loot on your run. This is where the ultimate bad guy boss is going to do something strategic that changes up the rule of the game. So he's casting a scroll. The hermit strengthens enemies with a ritual forgotten for centuries. Rough. That's not going to be great. We've also get to cast our own scroll here, though, if we wanted to do so. So we've got Scarlet Power. It'll increase our damage by 10% twice. I think twice. We've got Ultimate Sacrifice. Everybody loses an artifact, but we get minus 30 corruption. We don't have any corruption. Or we can get the Old Fool's Map. The Old Fool's Map will let us see what the rewards are when we go into various levels. I'll probably go with an extra 20% damage. That sounds probably helpful, considering the enemy just got like a 3x health multiplier. A little bit more damage is probably going to help us get through here, but we may not be long for the world right now. Let's pick a level we want to go to. Oh, we can go to a sanctuary. Sanctuaries, I think, allow us to bank our loot. I've never gotten one in the hours that I've been playing, so I want to check this out and make sure. I do have an opportunity to upgrade some of my stats on this character right here. There are a lot of metagame things in this title, and almost none of them are explained to you. You just kind of have to stumble into them. So, like, when you get enough of these blue things, you can upgrade your stats and make yourself stronger. All these stats do different stuff. We can also get demon books. We've got to find these books inside the levels, and then I think they allow you to, like, upgrade your demon in some way with new perks and stats, but I haven't gotten one yet. We've also got the Sacred Quest over here. I have no idea what the Sacred Quest is. I'm not sure. There's all kinds of little things down here that unlock somehow. If you've played Divine Cybermancy, this game will make perfect sense to you in its relative confusion about how everything works. Some people like that. I'm one of those people. I like it when things are not explained to me and I just kind of have to forehead down figure out the game. We've also got scrolls over here. These, I think, are the things that can drop inside of our run, and also they are the scrolls that we can play against the ultimate bad guy that we're going up against. And then these are all of the alchemy powers that we could potentially get for our Q key as it stands right now. I'll probably upgrade one of my stats. I'll probably increase my HP. That sounds nice. I like having more HP. So we'll upgrade that, and you'll fill up this little meter right here whenever you buy a stat. This is how you figure out what difficulty levels your character can actually handle. Once you've got enough upgrades, you can start taking on like B-level crusades, A-level crusades, S-level crusades, whatever you want to do. We do have other services out here too that we can take a look at. The Master of the Forge is over here. Everybody in this game does have dialogue and quests and things that they'll give you. They also have a very distinct art style that I personally think stands out amongst all the games out there. Looks like we've got a materials bag over here too that I will wholeheartedly take. I don't know what was inside of it, but I'll definitely take it. Some of the scenic vistas in this game are just utterly incredible, dude. Just really, really good looking game, in all honesty. Once you get used to the frenetic aspect of the fighting. I can already see the comments for this video of people being like, how the hell do you tell what's even going on? You just kind of get used to it. I don't know. By the way, if you were wondering how complex this game is, this right here is all the stuff that my current demon does on each of the different activities that I can take inside the game. Over here, you've got the attributes of your weapons, which can all be upgraded and fiddled with. You can make friends with your weapon. I still haven't figured out what the hell that does. Like I said, there's a lot of things unanswered in this game that you're just going to have to like figure out all on your own. You can change what you look like if you want to. This is purely cosmetic. They have a number of different types of warriors in here from various backgrounds and whatnot, depending on what you want to look like. I obviously went with the Gambeson Crusader guy. All that kinds of stuff you can equip, all kinds of skins that will also change around how your character looks, so you can like customize these. And as you get further on into the game, you can unlock new looks that you can't get from anywhere else. Purely cosmetic. They don't change anything about the gameplay, but they do exist, and there they are. I've showed you that they exist. That way you can play around with them if you decide to take the plunge into this incredibly confusing and yet crazy fun game. But I suppose we'll head back into the run, and if I die, we'll just go back to the hub or whatever. There is a way to extract. I haven't figured out how to do it yet. This is an extraction game where there is some method by which we can extract, but I haven't run into it in the couple of hours that I've been playing the game, so I just figured I have to complete the entire level, otherwise I lose all my stuff. I will take my free money right there for stat upgrades. We've got a Transcendental Obelisk. We've got ourselves an Alchemist's Corpse, and we've got a treasure chest. Let's get ourselves a Q button spell. I think that's a really good idea. We can invoke a flower that fights for us. We can get a wind vortex that attracts and injures enemies. We can teleport to an enemy and then destroy them in an explosion. I'll probably take I like the whirlwind because it's kind of like a CC. Like, it allows me to hold down a bunch of enemies when the fight is getting a little bit too chaotic, and just give myself some breathing space, which I think is a currency in this game that you're always very, very light on. Like, you almost never have breathing space in this game. Oh, I can save my loot and end my expedition. Nice, dude. Save my loot. Save my loot. All right, strategic retreat. We get to keep all of our stuff. So we got 2 new weapons, we got a new relic, and we got 184 of the blue stuff. Not bad. I'll take that. I've got a ping over here from something. Apparently successfully retreating from a run is a good thing. What's up, bro? Relieved to see you whole, Lightbringer. Okay. Praise be to Secreta. May it continue to guide me. No one can guide anyone down below. Some of our men buckle under the influence of these places. Some say they've heard voices. Others have seen something. In the temple, whispers turn into lies. I will never be fooled. Good. Then be even more vigilant. What slips into your mind doesn't always need to lie. Sometimes it just needs to say what you want to hear. The labyrinth doesn't like those who hesitate, and it changes face with every step. My crusade will only end with the destruction of the hermit's ritual. All right, well, we can take a look around here now, although I showed it to you all when we went to the sanctuary. So that guy starts runs. This guy over here allows you to, like, upgrade various aspects of yourself. I don't know if I have enough to actually upgrade right now. Got 446. I can probably upgrade something. I'll probably take a little bit more strength, I guess. It says that it significantly boosts my melee damage, so I'll definitely take that, although over here it's not telling me exactly what I got. Confirm it? It gave us like 3 damage on each swing. I'll take that. A 10% increase isn't the worst. We've also got a number of other things. The doppelganger's new. That just showed up, so I don't know what this guy is. What are you? Oh, you're kind of a creepy little girl that lives inside my base. Okay, I don't want to talk to you. Never mind. What I do want to look at, though, is I wanted to see what my new weapons are. So we unlocked new weapons. What did we get? So we got the Adjudicator, which does an insane amount of damage, but it's really bad at parrying, and it's got a really slow attack speed. We also got a Battle Sword over here, which looks like it has a different demon inside of it. You can get variants of these weapons that are different rarities. They have different potentials, and then on top of that, they also have different demons inside of them. So really, it's a good idea to track down weapons that blend very, very well with certain types of demons and whatnot that can be inside of them, and then try to get, like, higher grade versions. Looks like we can destroy this stuff too. I don't know if we get any resources or anything from it. We also got a new talisman. It looks like the talisman will save us 4% damage and give us earth resistance. The one that I have right now increases my loot chance and makes me resistant to electricity because I've seen a lot of electricity attacks up inside of here. But let me give you my closing thoughts about the game because, like, this one I think is going to take me a little while to actually talk my way through. I think I've hit most of my points, but I'd like to get them all in one place. So Daimon Blades, I think, is definitely going to be one of those games that's hard to review straight off the rip because simply based on its own novelty and bravery and the way that it isn't afraid of being freaking weird, dude. That's what's nice about this game, is that there is no fear inside this title of being weird or of adhering to market expectations. Somebody made exactly what they wanted to make with this title, and I think that it works. To me, it's been a breath of fresh air in a world that's just filled to the brim with Balatro knockoffs, card game knockoffs, roguelites that aren't really doing anything interesting or unique. Like, this game goes in the other direction. It's trying to do something new, weird, or unexplained in almost every direction with its gameplay, and it builds that on top of a rock-solid foundation of Vermintide-style gameplay that feels punchy and impactful. The game has loads of upgrades, unlocks, and cosmetics. There's no microtransactions that I've seen so far. You get them all through gameplay. The combat is seamless. Every run makes you feel like a real opportunity to be overpowered as hell. I personally am in love with this title. As a longtime Vermintide player, I like it a lot. Despite the game's rough current reviews, I wish more games took risks like this game does. The indie field would be a much richer place. Despite my adoration for this title, there are a number of things that I wanted to bring up that are loosey-goosey that you should be aware of before a purchase. First and foremost, the game just has a lot of general weird bugs, visually and otherwise. The developers have been patching like maniacs, and the problems are getting fixed one by one, but there's still work to be done there. I've had problems with like wounded blood vignettes never disappearing from my screen. The hitboxes are crazy unrefined and over-generous. The game's onboarding systems, introduction for new players is very overwhelming. It essentially just throws you into the deep end after a really brief tutorial. And this game has a very, very unforgiving difficulty curve. You are going to have to rise to the challenge here. The menus to me often felt cheaply constructed or limited in their responsiveness, and yet despite those problems, I found that if you stick with Daimon Blades for a few hours, and you experiment with its systems, you get good at the game and learn the combat. This is actually a really rewarding piece of video game media that I like tremendously. I'm a big fan. This is a case of a game where if they continue to polish, and I think if they make their onboarding a little bit better for new players and the systems contained inside the game, I think a lot of players actually would really enjoy this title, especially if you're the kind of player that gets hooked by figuring out obscure systems, secretive upgrades, and a generally mysterious world where nothing is explained to you. This game will probably hit that nail right on the head for you like it did for me. And so if you're okay with some buggy gameplay and some weird things going wrong on your runs, I'd give it a try. I like the game quite a bit. It's not flawless, but it is endlessly unique in a world of indie games that are very much homogenizing and being built by blueprint rather than by passion. And so I like it, man. I think Daimon Blades is a lot of fun. My name is Splattercat. I sift through the pile to find what's worthwhile in the world of indie games every single day so you don't have to. Today up on the chopping block, it was Daimon Blades. Tomorrow to be something else. Thanks for hanging out with me, and that's all I got for you, folks. Bye.